last week. I said it was the summer of the stash and the summer of pain, and I had the stash going. And then sure enough, the Young Bucks, they're copping our game right here. And so we'll kick things off. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
No doubt about it.
Those are some elite stashes.
As soon as I saw the entrance of the Bucks tonight, I was texting you right away. I was like, SPD, I know SPD is a sucker for a good stash. And he had to have been geeking out. Dangley's mustache, the new facial hair. The Bucks, their trolling is on an absolute epic level right now. And it felt like, they've kind of leaned into all these theatrics to continue to lean into those theatrics. They are they're feeling themselves right now, dude. Like they know that they're on another level, but their egos, they got knocked down a peg tonight, dude. This was a shocker to start off with Dynamite. This was a big start to the show, not one that we saw coming. I feel like the fan base has gotten so accustomed to having the Bucks just find a way by hook or by crook, the cold spray, whatever they have to pull off a W. And man, oh man, those antics did not finish off Kingston and Penta. And, SPD, you had to have been loving this one because, there was some real chops coming hard and heavy from that side of the ring. Penta and Kingston, man, those guys can deliver them in epic fashion. What was your takeaway on this match, man? Were you as surprised as I was to see the end result?
I was definitely happy for it. A little bit surprised, but just because of the role that, how aggressive and how amazing the Young Bucks have been just tearing through the tag division. But like you said, I was last show, which was a couple days ago on Saturday night. I was just so excited. The number one thing other than the main event I was looking forward to was what was the Young Bucks were going to do. And they did not disappoint. I am a sucker for a good mustache. The Butcher has got the best stash in the biz. I know the Young Bucks showed up with some good stashes.
Respect on Uncle Dax's name too, man.
Uncle Dax. Hey, I sent it to him, man. I'm working on the scruff and the stash, all based on Uncle Dax, man. That guy is the best, man. The workhorseman. Little happy birthday salute to him as well. So we'll cheers to that.
Sir. Yes,
but
sir.
Tony Schiavone was on fire tonight on commentary. I love his support for DMD. I love how he just hates MJF and he hates the Young Bucks and the Elite, and he's just calling them porn stars on there. But
my gosh,
you're right, man. Also a sucker for a stash, and I'm a sucker for a chop. And this match was full of those two, man. Stashes and chops.
This was an SPD special.
It was, man. It was an A+ all elite from SPD for sure, man. I don't know whose offense I love more in this, Young Bucks or Penta's, man. Penta, when he gets on a roll, he's just unstoppable. And his showboating, and the crowd is loving it for sure, man. The crowd was hot for this opening number, and I was texting you guys. I was like, how do you follow this? Just because it was just that hot, those false finishes, that 3 count the crowd was chanting, and all the interference shenanigans, man. This was just, as always, anytime the Young Bucks kick off a Dynamite, the bar has been set. And then those
we talk
who
about
follow,
that all the time.
Those who follow, good luck, because even though it's a team effort, it's a tough one, and it's a perfect way to start. And then you slowed things down with a couple promos so you don't, hurt the next match, and then you bring it right back in.
Yeah, the crowd, the energy was hot, and anytime the Bucks start off an episode of Dynamite, they know how to work a crowd, man. They know how to work people. There's a reason why the Young Bucks bio is a thing, and they just know how to engage people and get people to under their skin and get people riled up. And the crowd was eating this matchup, just scooping it, shoveling it in, man. They were loving every minute of this match,
slurping it.
They were slurping it up, and there's no reason. There's honestly, when you put all this out on paper, man, people are salivating for the Bucks to kind of get, as JR and the commentator team talked about, get that karma to strike them, right?
Finally.
They've been doing all this underhanded tactics, and they can call themselves the extremely violent people, but so many of their wins have been, on a combination of Brandon Cutler, the cold spray, or some sort of referee distraction.
The Good Brothers.
But That said, man, let's give the credit where credit's due. The super kicks were coming out hard tonight. Penta was countering with some killer kicks of his own. The offense in this one, I think that like the commentator team did a really nice job too of talking about
as always
the challengers, right? Kingston and Penta. We haven't had an opportunity to see a lot of them in tag action together, especially of late, right? I mean, obviously, we know that they're best friends, but they haven't had a lot of in-ring work together of late. And when you look at their styles, you can see why this team works, right? Why they were the team to break through and be able to get on the upper hand of the Bucks. They both can brawl. They both have some technique. When technique needs to happen, they can scrap, right? So I liked how Kingston kind of continues to do that Street Fighter vibe, but also make sure to remind people this dude has been around the game long enough to have a couple tricks up his sleeve. It's not just the Bucks who have been in wrestling forever and have traveled the world. This dude's done the same. So I like that we got to see sort of those equals presented on this side. Where that goes from here, SPD, I picked up on it. The commentator team picked up on it. They mentioned the Bucks trolling the Lucha Brothers in this matchup, and my ears perked up. My ears perked up when I heard that, because I know that's the ultimate game plan. The SPD, I could see these guys coming up just short. Bucks rubbing it in. Bucks really kind of just rubbing salt in the wound, and a returning Ray Phoenix to come and try and save his brothers.
A returning.
Go ahead. Wow.
I could have kept going, bro.
Brother, that was an impressive one, dude. You could tell.
This, man. So I see it playing out like a 4-on-4 match, even Good Brothers and Young Bucks, after the returning Ray Phoenix, the Elite Killer, Penta and Eddie. You can cross that, and then ultimately the Lucha Brothers take the gold, baby.
I love it. I love where your head's at, man. I love where what you're thinking. I think that SPD, the crystal ball, is if things play out the way that we like the fantasy book here a lot, folks. I know that's part of the fun. I love hearing what the fans out there think too, and we'll get more. We're gonna get back into our routine and back into our schedule.
Finally.
Get that Friday night fights and flights going again, and we're gonna start spitballing with all y'all. Do all that fantasy booking, because that's a lot of the fun, especially when you could say, "Hey, I thought that would happen." And I think SPD, you're going to have a moment where you could say, "I told you so."
I can't wait,
think
man.
That's in the cards, my friend.